Blog Talk Radio.
This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by Explaindio, the easy way to create explainer-style videos, whiteboard sketch videos, and much more. Take a look now and see everything that has to offer by hitting raythevideoguy.com/explaindio-demo. And that's EXPLAINDIO. And on today's show, we have a very special guest. We have Antwoine Sanders, former NFL football player and current fitness, do we say guru? Let's find out.
Guru is okay. Antoine, is that on?
Sure. If you guys want to make me bigger than I am, I appreciate that.
Okay.
That sounds good.
He's
good.
Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
It's the online marketing radio show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. Get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. We're live Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Join the conversation at 818-369-1423. Ray's video marketing tip of the week is coming up at the end of the show, and our guest today is, as Ray said, is Antwoine Sanders, former NFL player and fitness guru, and he uses YouTube to promote himself. Hey, Antwoine, how you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm fine. Ray, you good?
I am doing well. Although I do have to admit, we are getting back into my having a cold all the time.
Oh no!
Area. Yeah. See, I ran out of that great medication they gave me, so now I'm going to have to go get some more.
Yeah. Well, that's fairly easy to do. Just get some more and.
Well, yeah. Except they used to give it to me for free. I don't know if they will anymore. And it's
Is that the nasal spray?
It is great stuff. I mean, it really works well. But I haven't had any for about a month now, and it's starting to catch back up with me. So they'll have to spend some of that money.
They've got it over the counter.
Well, no, they don't. Not this stuff. They've got other stuff. Basically, they got a product that's like
you have to be sure to take it appropriately, right, Tom?
What's that?
So you got to be sure to take it. When they say you're supposed to take it, the proper dosage.
Oh yeah.
You get a little forgetful every now and then, Ray. So I just wanted to.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what it is? I have to leave my house and go down to the city in order to get it.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
Heaven forbid we do that. So
you got to pack a lunch to go get your scripts.
I don't leave the house unless I have to.
Hey, do we still get the bonuses for Explaindio? I bought it early bird. I was probably one of the first people.
Oh, heck yeah, of course we do.
They're massive bonuses. I mean, I got them all. I had to back them all up to my external hard drive. All the music and the graphics and all that kind of stuff. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I really tried to tear it up for this one because very cool stuff. You can, for those of you who don't know exactly what it is, essentially it's a program that allows you to create videos. Even if you don't have a video creation bone in your body, you can actually use this particular software to create really nice videos for your video marketing. And not only can you create those hand-drawn whiteboard type videos very easily, but you can also create slideshow videos, and you can bring in video that you've shot and actually put together a nice video that way as well. So it's a very cool program. It's very easy to use. And they got a ton of templates in there, but they're also going to have, and Steve, I don't even know if you know this yet, but there's going to be a full marketplace where you can actually buy more templates and graphics and things like that specific to the product. So.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I bought doing the early bird, I got that and the Odo for, I think, the cost of what it would normally be for just the basic version. I think the Odo was extra templates, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was extra stuff.
Yeah. So I thought, what the heck? I'm getting the early bird price on it. So yeah,
we're having fun with it. But I do want to throw something out, because this came up yesterday, and somebody mentioned this, and these products are fantastic. And the fact that anybody can literally jump in and make a decent video very quickly and easily is very cool. But of course, the big thing is you got to have a strategy. And a lot of people say, well, these products are just these get rich quick things and whatnot. And but in this case, this is more like a carpenter still has to have a hammer. You have to have the blueprint, but you still have to have a hammer. And this is a hammer, but you still have to create that blueprint on what you're going to use that hammer to create. So, that's my big thing there is, don't just buy things to buy things and think you're just going to, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to be a millionaire next week. I mean, that's not the case. It's a tool, and you have to have this, you don't need to have a lot of skill, which is great, but you have to have a plan.
I got a plan. I'm just going to use it in my prospecting. Hey, I did this for you. What do you think? Because I'm trying to develop relationships.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I got it.
People love it. People love it. I mean, I put together 2 videos in literally about 10 minutes time for a client, and they paid they paid a couple $100 for each one, and literally it was 10 minutes work, and it was just me kind of doing it to show them that we can do stuff, and they bought them, and that was that. So and they loved them. They thought they were great, and people. In fact, the guy contacted me back and said, "Did you give me a really good break on this?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He says, "Well, I showed it to a bunch of my other business friends, and they're like, holy cow, that should have cost a couple $1,000.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Todd Gross was saying last week. Antwoine, we had one of the marketing guys associated with the development of it on last week, and we were talking about what was there, and that's what convinced me to buy it, because I just got all kinds of uses for it. But now, Ray, I just want to reiterate, though, you do need a strategy here. It's like a carpenter that has a blueprint. He has to have a hammer. Now, that being said, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
I'd hammer in the evening.
All over this land.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'd hammer on danger and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes me wish we had Leonard Nimoy, songs right on cue. We could have hit it right then and there.
That's right. Yeah, I got to start uploading all kinds of stuff, because you just never know what.
For those of you wondering what the heck we're talking about right now, if I had a hammer, it's an old song, but the Mr. Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, actually released an album I believe in the late 60s or early 70s, and that was one of the songs that he did a cover on, and it's absolutely atrociously brilliant. So
yeah.
You got to check that out if you can. Every once in a while I post it on Facebook because it's one of my favorite songs. So.
Yeah, I need to just just as a general rule, upload a bunch of William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy covers here, just so we have them.
You can never.
And Ray's my favorite video guy. If I need video done, any fitness workouts or anything of that nature, I call on Ray.
and to prove it, I was up at 2:00 in the morning putting together some last minute stuff for a meeting. So I am indeed the video guy for you.
Yeah, and it went very well. It went very well.
Well, good. Yeah,
well, that's good, because we're excited. We should see a lot of great stuff, and we'll reveal some of that later on. But we should have some really, really cool stuff coming up out of some of the things that we've been experimenting with lately, and hopefully the fruits of those experiments will be quite profitable.
Well,
yes.
Why don't we go ahead and dive into news of the week here?
News of the week.
Now, Antwoine, we didn't really get a chance to chat with you before or give you the procedures for the show, because you just got back to the office in the nick of time to be on the show. But you guys still there?
Yes, we're still here.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. I just had a change. It was the plate in my head. Don't worry about it. So, but go ahead and feel free to contribute to any of the stories we're talking about here, okay? So.
Oh, yeah. I'll elaborate.
Okay. Let's see. This is from Search Engine Watch. Google Maps adds new features and brighter colors. I like brighter colors, yeah. In order to better serve its mobile customers and compete with the likes of Yelp and Foursquare in the mobile and local market, Google Maps is in the process of rolling out a new series of features. It's stuff that's been on the desktop for a while, In fact, last month, Google announced an upgrade to its desktop version, which began to allow users to plan trips and create their own map of must-sees.
I was hoping they would make it look a little more like the maps on Dora the Explorer, but they didn't quite go that far.
No, it's not that, but they can gain instant access to images, reviews, ratings, and more for a particular location. See, I know who Dora the Explorer is because she was on when my 18-year-old was little.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, Spanish.
Yeah, that's right.
But, you know, you want to hear a funny Dora story? My daughter, now she's 9 now, but when she was just getting into preschool, so she was 3 or 4, whatever it was at the point, and you know, the preschool teacher was the lady road from us, and she loved Dora the Explorer. She would watch Dora, and she loved the Spanish language. So the teacher came up to us and says, "No, having a little bit of trouble." We're like, "Oh, what's that?" She says, "Well, London is really smart. She knows the answer to everything." She says, "She only answers in Spanish."
Hey, Ray, you're kind of cutting. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you. You're kind of cutting in and out. Do you have some stuff running in the background, or?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead and finish your story. I'm sorry.
You sure you're not? You sure you're not out for a run? And you know, because with technology these days, you can be out for a run, still Skyping us.
Yeah, that's right. You're Ray's out.
You know me better than.
Getting the work out here, Ray. You know that's what I'm all about. So if you're getting the work out here right now, you're still talking to a dude. You are the man.
Yeah.
You know perfectly well that I am not out running.
So you could have
being chased by a dinosaur or something.
Made us believe you were still running, and given us this Dora the Explorer story. Like, you wouldn't be only the video guy, you would be the video guy who's also the man.
The man.
Right.
Yeah.
Ray Lane. Ray the video. Ray the video man.
And
for those wondering, I actually have started going back to the gym. So there you go.
Good deal.
I actually have started.
I gotta get out and walk tomorrow. It's 19 degrees here today.
Yeah, that's cold.
It was pretty cold here this morning too. Actually, surprisingly enough,
it still is.
I don't know about you, Antwoine. For those who don't know, Antwoine's actually only about, in theory, about 40 minutes away from me. In reality, about an hour and 10 minutes away from me. And this morning we had snow. I don't know if you did or not, but we did have snow this morning. So
didn't get snow this morning. A few days ago we did, but not this morning.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a little covering yesterday when the cold front moved through, and it's going to stay here a while. I'm not seeing any relief in sight. So too early to be this cold.
So did they add any weather forecast to the Google Maps or anything? I know they got color and a few other new items that you can utilize as far as planning trips, but no weather forecasting.
That doesn't say. Images, reviews, ratings, and more. So who knows what and more is?
Yeah, I didn't see any weather on there, but who knows?
Did it show people on there yet? I mean, can you see people? Like, I mean, you can zoom in and zoom out. I mean, can you see people?
I see people.
Yeah, it's not like that. I think it's still just satellite still images, but sure.
Satellite still images.
Excuse me.
That would be kind of scary if you could see people.
Yeah.
Right, literally, it'd be real scary.
Especially if they were dead. From search engine land, Apple web crawler, more potential evidence of search ambitions. An Apple insider reports on the discovery of a web crawling bot originating from Apple servers. It was first outed by developer Jan Mosen. Okay. Mosen reports that the bot is only crawling HTML, not CSS, JavaScript, or image files. And then he asks, is this an official Apple project or just somebody crawling the web from their workplace at Apple? And the author guesses it's official, and then interestingly, he says it has some sort of bug in it. And then the author goes on to guess Apple is doing something purposeful with a web crawler. He doesn't think that Apple will ever take on Google directly by trying to be a general or all-purpose search engine, but web search and related content capabilities are an increasingly important part of the virtual assistant's experience.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. If you think about it, all these mobile phones, which are more and more and more of the search every month, does it really matter that it's Google or Yahoo? I mean, yeah, obviously Google's going to have the most information right now, but people aren't necessarily going to Google to search anymore if they're using their phone. They're talking to their phone, or they're using a third-party app and things like that. So it's just a matter of where that information is pulled from, as long as you can get accurate stuff.
Yeah, exactly. In related news, Dora the Explorer is web crawling Spanish sites. So
that's what I've heard. I've heard that. Bate, chocolate.
Oh no.
See. And finally, from search engine land, Matt Cutts is probably not coming back.
Boy, we're just like
we've had this on every week for like 2 months.
We need to have a Matt Cutts a bumper for this. Matt Cutts watch.
Matt Cutts. Matt Cutts being Google's lightning rod for unhappy CEOs might not be productive. And he I think he's kind of burned out on that. Cutts made his comments while participating in This Week on Google last Wednesday. Host Leo Laporte asked Cutts about his current leave and if he would go back to the same role at Google. And essentially what he said was, he's getting kind of burned out on being the lightning rod for unhappy SEO people. So, anyhow.
I can't blame him for that, I guess.
This and more on our fan page at Video Marketing Madness, facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. There's a lot of other great tips and information there, too, that doesn't necessarily translate into news of the week, so check it out.
Yes, indeed.
You can like us there.
Yep.
And now for something completely different.
I update it every day.
I know. I don't, but you certainly do.
I probably put 4 or 5 stories in there every day. Well, it serves a double purpose. In that, Wednesday morning I'm not frantically looking for stories. If you take the entire week and hunt stuff down and find stuff you want to talk about on the show, then that's the way to go.
Yeah, in fact, there's a great article on there right now about the branded video views from Real SEO that was quite interesting, about how 3 billion views of branded videos. So that's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't feel like that translated into a story real well because there was a lot of opinion and, it was written in a very casual style. However, It's a great read. It's a wonderful read, so go there for that. I'm glad you brought that up because I looked at that this morning and I thought, man, I'd love to make this a story, but I'd have to rewrite it and I didn't know how it would translate.
And it is interesting because obviously video is going in that direction, especially with people using more video ads and things of that nature. It's important to check that kind of stuff out and to see that it's being, people aren't seeming to mind the fact that the videos are branded these days, and it's still not very commercial per se, but they're definitely commercial in purpose. So it's good to see that people are not rejecting that outright yet. So that's good.
Yeah. Anyhow, so that story's on the Facebook page, and that's a good one to read there. It's
indeed
easy read. Lots of it's got a lot of infographics. That was the reason it wouldn't translate too well to the radio. But if you read it, it will.
Yes, absolutely.
So Antoine's our guest today.
Yes, he is. And for those of you who haven't figured out who Antwoine is yet, let's give a nice introduction here. Antwoine is actually a former NFL player, as well as a Utah Ute football standout. from out here in old Utah land, and for some reason he has decided to stay out in this cold area instead of heading back to the warmer climes of the other side of the country. But
are you from North Carolina originally? Did I read?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, originally Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot warmer there.
Yeah, it is for a shorter period of time also.
Yeah, right.
And the reason that I wanted to bring Antwoine on here is actually twofold, because one, as he mentioned earlier, we are working on a number of video projects together, but in his current position and in his past position, video and video marketing have been a big part of some of the things that he does. And right now we're actually working on some interesting products that deal with fitness and creating videos and video membership sites for people to get in shape and use some of the cool products that Antwoine has developed. So Antwoine, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me. It is an honor. It is an honor. Once again, it's an honor.
Is it an honor?
So, it is. It is. I appreciate being on with you guys today.
So how's Dion doing?
Dion, man, I wish you know what? I'm going to say it to the world. Hopefully he can hear. Dion, I wish you were tuning in, but I would have loved to meet that guy. I looked up to him throughout all my childhood years, and I still like the way he presents himself, carries himself, the things that he's into, starting up his own charter schools out in Texas, fully vested in the community, but also he's one that, when I listen to him talk on the NFL Network, he really understands the game of football and how guys should carry themselves on and off the field. And then when they play well, I love to hear him say, pay the man.
Pay the man.
Because in all honesty, when you're a professional athlete, your business, your body is your corporation. So if your corporation is functioning, at a high level, which means your body is functioning at a high level and you're doing things that just normal individuals can't do, even guys that are playing on that stage with you cannot do, then yes, I understand the fact of him saying pay the man. Because once that body breaks down, there's no more pay the man. They will allow you to go about your merry way. NFL contracts are not guaranteed. So after leaving football, getting into the fitness world is something that I really, really have a passion for. But we can go into that aspect a little later. But once again, yeah, I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan, and hopefully one day I'll get to meet him. I'll get to meet him.
So same last name, no relation.
Same last name.
So now you played.
Might need a genealogy test to see if we have any relations somewhere down the road.
Now you played for the Ravens. Which teams you played for? The Ravens. What were the other teams that you played?
I was drafted to Baltimore. Then from Baltimore, I was with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
and
right.
from Miami Dolphins, I went over to Canada, and I was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Okay.
Yes. I tried to get you to go to the Patriots, but, they just don't want to take my calls anymore.
It would be nice. It would be nice. The sad thing about all of it is the fact that it has to end one day, regardless of, whether it's injury, whether you're getting put in a bad situation, whether there's different draft picks financially that, are going to have to be seen because they've invested so much money, or if it's because of age. So, that's the sad part about, I would say being an athlete on any level for any different sport is the fact that one day it has to end.
Yeah.
But you can live vicariously through other individuals, your kids, stay heavily influenced and involved, with other younger youth athletes. But this is my favorite time of the year. I still get that itch. I still feel like I can get out there and do all that stuff, but there's no way I would want to train to be playing football right now. That's hard, dude.
It's supposed to be my favorite time of the year, but I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so.
Yeah, let's act like we didn't just hear that because they are doing. How do you say horror?
I don't know what the deal is.
A couple of words together for that because they're like horrible right now. They're really bad. Like they're kind of like garbage.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And I'm not saying this, just to be a downer on your parade, but
no, it's not.
They're atrociously, magnificently, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious bad.
Well, I don't think Mel Sanders isn't going to be there next year, their defensive coordinator. I know that.
Wow. I mean, a lot of them might not be there.
Yeah.
The entire staff may not be there. I mean, they have too many weapons on that offense. You have Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall. What's the young boy name? Number 17.
From South Carolina, Alshon Jeffrey.
Jeffries, and then you have the tight end Bennett. Michael Bennett.
Yeah, Marcus Bennett.
Bennett.
Marshawn Bennett.
Michael Bennett, and then Jay Cutler. He's iffy. He's sometimey. When he's on, but when he goes in a funk, he's in a funk. And then defensively, they've been hampered with some injuries, but that makes no sense to be what was it? Game 8, game 9 of the season, and you're having that many defensive breakdowns they had last week.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Last 2 weeks.
That level, it makes no sense at all. I can understand you get beat by a guy, but when a guy is 10, 12, 9 yards away from you, no excuses. So hopefully for you, they can turn things around. I'm a Washington Redskin fan at heart.
Yeah,
they've got the same record.
Yeah.
We're not doing much better. We're not doing much better. But I think we have some things to build on. I think we have some pieces there that with a little tweak here, a little tweak there, a lot better play at the quarterback position. We could actually do some things. I don't know about this year, but definitely going to next year. Robert Griffin, I won't put so much blame on him. He was a rookie, got injured. Then he didn't have a camp. Then he got injured again. They benched him. He came back, got hurt early in the season again this year. So those are growing pains he has to get through, but he has to be a professional and get it done. And then defensively, we played a lot better this year than we did last year. So, once again, we're both kind of in the same boat. But your boat looks a little bit worse than mine. That's just
my boat's got my boat's sunk, I think. Now Ray is a Patriots fan, so
that's right. Second best record in the whole league, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, smart man, Ray. Smart man. How long have you been a Patriots fan, though? That's what I got to ask you.
You know what? Since I was old enough to know what football was, at least. So.
Oh, okay.
Even right. I was around in the the 1 in 15 days.
Okay. Hey, but look, I always loved the Patriots uniforms, especially when they had the little guy on the helmet with the football.
Yeah.
those had to be the coolest uniforms in the world ever.
You know what's funny is I look back as they do the retro stuff every once in a while, and they'll bring that guy back. And
man,
I just remember as a kid thinking, that is the worst logo in the history of football.
Seriously? Oh, man, I love that red, white, and blue. It is unreal.
Now I love it. Now I think it's great. When I was
always
younger, I always thought, man, that's such a terrible logo. It's too busy. It's a guy in a Patriot uniform hiking football.
I love their organization, the structure, how things are ran. They call it the Patriot way. I think what Bill Belichick and those guys over there have done, I think it's amazing. The one thing I disagree with your team, Ray, is the fact that, why put Tom Brady through, why not give him, some really good key weapons on the outside? You got to have at least one guy that can stretch the field.
Well, you get somebody decent with good hands, and then they go out and use those hands to murder people. It's just.
You were laughing.
Okay. I'm not. I'm going to keep him out of the whole topic. But aside from him, since Randy Moss, they haven't had anyone to stretch the field. But look. Here's what I'm going to compare it to. Peyton Manning, John Elway. Peyton has like toys. Like he's happy. he could throw a bad ball. It's okay. You know, he has guys all over the place that can get the job done. You know, when you look at Brady, they have to keep changing up the type of offense that they run.
I mean, think back to some of these teams. A couple years ago, they were a completely running team, and then the next year they're a completely throwing team. I mean, it's amazing how they can adapt to that. But yeah, it would be great to have a few different options. You know, and they've got a couple of guys that can run the ball fairly well now. But, you know, they're still a pretty much a throwing team, in my opinion. But you're right. Yeah, it's always the same two guys that are catching the ball, and usually it's, you know, nowhere near the outside.
Yeah, so, I mean, my point was basically, you know, if you would put Tom Brady on the Denver Broncos, oh, my goodness. The competitor that he is, I mean, it's unreal. He'd have Manning-like numbers, but I can guarantee, for me personally, I think I would say I'd guarantee that they win the Super Bowl, all right, because that's the difference I see between him and Peyton Manning. All right, now I coach Little League football with my son, and I tell him, like, dude, you got to be a dog. And they look at me like, what is he talking about? You want me to be a dog? Like, really? You want me to bite people, bark? No, I mean, dude, you got to have that tenacity. And I see Brady as a dog. Brady would go out there and he's headbutting his teammates and screaming and yelling and that carries over to the rest of the guys on the team. Your quarterback acting like that, but he's consistent, he's efficient, and he gets the job done.
He has to be a dog. Have you ever seen the guy in person? No, I mean, I'm being honest here. I mean, he looks like he could just be your neighbor who's, you know, works in a bank somewhere down the street. And he doesn't look like, you know, this big rugged football player.
No, I've seen his combine workout videos. I mean, everybody saw that and they were like, "Oh, who's this guy? He plays football, quarterback." But at the end of the day, you're rooting for a really good team. You know, all the way around, they have a great system from head to toe on the playing side. I love the way they adapt, and you know, they bring in good guys. So, you know, keeping everything clean and copacetic is really good. So you might be in for a Super Bowl appearance this year. So, you know.
Yeah, I hope so. I just hope we don't get another, you know, situation like we had a couple years ago where looks like they might actually win a Super Bowl and then a certain other Manning just takes the ball and just kind of throws it up in the air and they happen to catch it and win the Super Bowl.
And now to something completely different.
Yes. All right. I think that was Steve's attempt to tell us we should probably talk about what we're here to talk about at some point.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, Steve. Let's do that, Steve. He got me all going, Steve. I'm back with Steve.
And it's not all you, believe me, because we tend to get on these football tangents this time of year on the show anyway. So now we sound like we know what we're talking about.
But here's a quick thing with technology. They're no longer using the paper on the sideline. They're using either tablets or iPads for the guys to go back and review, you know, the plays that they did when they were just recently, when they came off the field, the plays they did. So technology is all over the place. I mean, when you get NFL, which is supposedly the biggest sport in the world, using, you know, technology as far as iPads or tablets on the sideline to review plays when the guys come off the field. I mean, dude, that's taking it to a whole other level. It makes things a whole lot better.
Oh, I agree. And you know, it's funny you bring that up because on the sidelines, what they're using is they're using the Microsoft Surface tablets.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Microsoft paid the NFL something outrageous, like $800 million or something, to be the official tablet on the side of the field there. And I can't remember who it was, but on one of the games, one of the announcers mentioned them and said, "Yes, it's those iPad-like tablets."
Oh no! Oh, geez.
So thank you for the $800 million, so you can mention the competition. We love that.
Does he still have a job?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Buck or you know who it was at the time, because it was a beginning of the season. But somebody did that anyway. But yeah, it was kind of funny to hear. But you know, the thing about that is the technology obviously is growing and actually is becoming a bit of a sore spot too, because there's been a lot of, these guys are using technology to, zoom in and take pictures of our plans, and they're using it for this purpose and that purpose. So it's definitely something that has to be addressed and watched carefully, because it can be used for positive or negative. So, but and now I want to bring up something you kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and the reason I do is, you were talking about pay the guys and careers ending, and obviously the big problem that most athletes have, and we've seen this over and over again with the 30 for 30 stuff, is a lot of these guys, they do get paid a little bit of money, they stop playing, and next thing you know, they're stealing from Apple stores and doing things of that nature to take care of themselves. I'm actually fairly close. I know Antwoine Walker fairly well, former Celtics great. And, he made over $110 million in his career.
Unreal.
And was absolutely broke.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't. And, and I've talked to him, and I asked him about that. And, he told me, he said a lot of it is not so much that, you're just wasting money, buying cars and things like that, which, he said he did, of course. But a lot of it is your friends and family. They want this. They want to start a business, and then it fails 2 months later, and you just lost $500,000.
They teach everyone how to say no.
Yeah, and the other part of it, I think, is that a lot of these guys, and this is something that you've kind of excelled at, is finding some way to do something after that career is over. And a lot of people don't have that. To this day, Antwoine Walker, he's still trying to play basketball in D-League, places and make $100 here and, that kind of stuff, just to use those skills a little bit. But, clearly he's not going to get back to the NBA, and he's not going to make that kind of money again. So it's obviously very important to plan for that future, and especially, in your sport, football, because, people look at these guys in the NBA and even in MLB and in the NHL, where everybody's making a ton of money.
And a lot of those, I know Major League Baseball, their contracts are guaranteed. I'm quite sure basketball is also. And football, there's no guarantee with those contracts.
And not only that, but, there's a lot of guys, everyone just assumes, this person's an athlete, he's a millionaire. But in the NFL, there are people that are making tons and tons of money, but there's also a lot of people who are not making a ton of money that people just assume are making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And, I used to joke that back when Tom Brady first went to the Patriots, I used to joke that my salary was higher than his. Of course, he did get a $5 million bonus on top of the salary, but point being is that a lot of these guys, especially practice team players and things like that, they're not making a fortune like everybody assumes, and so it's really important to kind of figure out what you're going to do after that career is over, or in addition to that career. And in your case, you've actually taken what you love and turned it into, the idea of helping other people get into better shape. And could you tell us a little bit about how you got into that area of business?
Well, I'll make it really brief. My whole outlook, was what would I do next? And this was, even before going in to a professional football opportunity. It was what would I do next if that was to never come about? But also once the opportunity happened, it was short-lived, but in the process, I had already started a blueprint what I wanted to do next. There were several things that I, wanted to do, and it was a massive plan that over time shrank down to what it is today. And so if I was to look at what it is today, it's basically fitness and health. So wellness for the most part. So I look at, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to fitness, those things I look at them as a necessity. Like, you have to have those things. And if you want to live longer, you want to have a healthier life, if you want your quality of life to be expanded as far as things that you've been able to do through your younger years and still be able to do the majority of those things as we get older, then once again, it comes back to fitness and health, wellness. And so creating what I currently do today, which is Studio HV, which is functional form fitness training at its best. We get to work with all levels of fitness, all ages, all abilities. It's very interpersonal. It's more like personal training in a group setting. It's non-intimidating. The footprint, for other franchises that I plan to have open are from 500 to 1,500 square feet. And within that blueprint of a model, you'll have 5 to 8 smart zones. And we call them smart zones because every zone is equipped with all the equipment that a single individual would need during a particular class. And then the beauty of it is you could have individuals of all age groups, and it's kind of cool. We'll have 20-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 30, 60, 50, all working out in the same group, but everyone is working out pertaining to their fitness level. We have advanced, intermediate, beginner level movements that allow people to feel comfortable and not out of place when they're doing their workouts. We've also recently added in genetic testing. So I will say we are the only studio in the world that, or fitness provider or fitness center that offers genetic testing for their members. And once again, that just went back to something. When I looked at it, I had to look at it from a spectrum of, okay, I used to always work with, student athletes in the beginning, and then that business model had to expand because when you're working with football players, when the football season comes around, you no longer have those players because they're spending pretty much 90% of their time with their coaches. Basketball, the exact same thing. Soccer, lacrosse, tennis, whatever it may be. So you have a fluctuation in revenue. But in streamlining that into the studio in which I currently offer today for individuals, for a business side of things for myself, the revenue doesn't fluctuate up and down. It stays steady. And so for me, that's the type of business platform I want it to be in and also be able to provide for others to be able to offer as they see the value in opening their own Studio HV. And so with the genetic testing, the beauty behind the genetic testing, we no longer have to guess. So, Ray, if you came in and say, hey, Antwoine, I want to get set up on a nutritional plan. I want to work out here at your studio. Yes, I could assist you with HV Fuel, which is our nutritional platform, get you set up with a nutritionist and have that nutritionist, do your body weight, your BMI, all those different things, and then set you up where you have a nutritional platform that, it's going to give you letter grades for the foods that you choose to eat so that you're getting the right macronutrients throughout your entire diet. But I dislike the word diet in a sense, just because, diets, you can ask certain people, hey, how many diets have you tried this year? They've tried several. So we like to call it clean fueling. So if you just clean up the way you currently eat, you're gonna have longer lasting fuel. It's gonna provide your body what it needs, whether you're training or you're just actively living. So with the genetic testing, we take all the guesswork out because it's a DNA test basically, and so it's a saliva test. We send it into the lab. It comes back, and it basically gives you all the insights on your sugars, your fats, your nutrients, your vitamins. Excuse me. It's going to screen your response for exercise. So that's kind of cool. Like it'll actually let you know whether endurance training is more beneficial, less beneficial for you. If aerobic training, whether your body is susceptible to possibly regaining the weight that you lost. So it's going to give you all the answers you need. It'll let you know also if you are, a low fat person, low carb, if you're Mediterranean. So if I were to look at a graph and say 55%, Ray, at 55% you're with your carbs, at 20% you're with your proteins, and 25% you're with lean fats. And then with that baseline right there, that's all you'd ever need for the remainder of your days. So you would stay within that. And then it would also break down the food sensitivities that you may have. So it'll remove all the foods that your body is sensitive to that may cause inflammation, things of that nature. And then it's going to say, so out of these 180 foods, your body is equipped to handle 115 of those. So you know to remove the additional ones and just stick within these 115. And so it's going to allow your body, it's going to allow you to maximize and optimize your output. So, excuse me. So that's just one of I look at that's a key component to what we're doing here at Studio HV right now, is because once again, I feel that health, fitness, wellness is always going to be there. So when I looked at what I wanted to do next, I wanted to make sure I strategized a situation that I was involved in something that people were going to have to need or use every single day.
So what do you guys do? Ray and Antwoine, what do you guys do together?
So currently,
clearly I don't exercise.
Besides Ray running 10 miles a day with you.
No, so right now I have a product called the CTX. CTX stands for Cross Training Experience. CTX is CTX is the main center point of application for training in what we do here at the studio, even though we use a broad array of other functional training components. But the CTX is it's a resistance training apparatus that basically it goes around. There's a belt that goes around your waist, connects to your wrists and to your ankles. So it gives you full body resistance with any movement that you're doing. It's going to cut any workout that you do completely in half. And so right now we are creating video content for a subscriber-based website. So we're going to have the CTX Experience training platform where if anyone, no matter where they are in the world, will be able to purchase a CTX, but then also be able to subscribe to the CTX website and be able to select from the different genres of exercises provided for them. So we'll have mat Pilates, we'll have CTX yoga, we'll have CTX kick cardio, we'll have CTX burst 10-minute trainings. So there'll be, right now the idea is to have 20 different genres of workouts. And within those 20 different genres, you'll probably have anywhere between 12 to 20 different workouts under one genre. Now, those will reboot, so we'll add additional complementary workout videos, throughout the year. But it'll basically be one of those things where if you had this product, if you have the CTX product, you can just log in, whether you're using your cell phone, your iPad, your tablet, your computer, your home television, and actually be able to do the workouts. And so that's what me and Ray are currently working on. And it's very unique and it's user-friendly. It's very fun, innovative. Ray has come up with some really, really unique ideas and things that we're going to have show sequence-wise on the video as you're seeing the workout at the same time. So that's currently one of the projects that me and Ray are currently working on. And Ray, feel free to elaborate on that if you like.
Sure, yeah. And the cool thing is, one of the reasons that we've gone into this is because in your past work history, you were kind of a product developer / marketing guy / demonstrator of some other products. And we had a lot of success using video for not only selling the products, but demonstrating the products and having a lot of fun and doing some really good marketing stuff with that. So we've got a history of this. And for those of you who want to know a little more of that, you can actually go back in our archives and get the radio show we did with Mike Waters, and you'll learn a little bit more about some of the cool things we did there and some of the results we had. But, needless to say, we had very good success, and we're looking to modify that and hopefully replicate the successes that we had there and try something a little bit new. And I think we're down to something pretty good here. I think we got to do some tweaking and things, but that's the great part is, in the old days, and I don't chime in on this, Antwoine. 10 years ago, if you wanted to do this, or maybe 15 years ago, it would probably cost you $50,000 to produce something just to find out if it would work or not.
Just to find out if it would work. Yeah, just to find out if it would work.
and the beauty is, it doesn't cost us really anything to do it right now because I'm just coming down there and doing it. You're on camera. Some of your other training friends, they're on camera. And so we can really test a lot of these things out without spending a fortune and really, narrow down exactly what works and then go from there. So there's a lot of reward with very little risk other than our time. And that's what I really love about modern day marketing with video.
And it brings the end user closer and allows them to understand the functionality of the product a lot better. Because I've looked at products, people sell products and you get the product at home or wherever you may be. And if you don't understand how to use it or you don't have multiple things you can go off of video wise, then 9 times out of 10 it's sitting in the corner. And so with the CTX, the other, really large component with the CTX is that it's user-friendly for all walks of life, all sports, and all fitness. So I always tell people you can train at the speed of sport and fitness. It's the train anywhere, anytime trainer. So whether you're playing football, any position on the football field, you can put the CTX on and work out with it. Not just work out. You can do push-ups, jump jacks, all those different things, but I'm saying you can do your skill set positions. So if I'm a defensive back, which I was a free safety, I could actually do defensive back drills. I could put my football gloves on and still run around with my cleats, jump, catch balls, press technique guys, do all of those different things. If I was a wide receiver, I could run routes, catch the ball. If I'm a lineman, if I played basketball, I could do the exact same thing. I could do it for every drill that I'm doing. I could wear the CTX. Volleyball, tennis, lacrosse. If I was doing, once again, Pilates, if I was hiking, if I did rock climbing, you can put CTX on, and it's a product that will allow you to do all the things that you want to do and that you do normally, but you just have resistance, so it's making you strengthen and lengthen your muscles at the exact same time.
Yeah, and one sport that we've actually done a lot of work in with similar products is in MMA, boxing. So those types of sports are very big into the resistance training like this, and very helpful for them. And you can see a lot of these types of products if you watch TV and see athletes training. You'll see a lot of this stuff out there, and this just kind of brings it to the average person. I mean, heck, I made a joke the other day about it that you can just wear it around your house and work out all day long while you're washing the dishes and doing all the things you normally do. So.
Funny story, but true story. I've had, several women come into Studio HV to purchase CTX just so that when they're at home, when they're cleaning, they're wearing their CTX. So they're actually getting a workout as they do laundry and clean up and do gardening things around the home. So very, very, I'm really excited about the product, excited for the dynamics of it, the versatility of it, how many lives it can touch. But once again, it's the centerpiece of what we do here at the studio. And when our members aren't here and they have to miss trainings, then we have, we'll have this video. Well, we already have an archive of videos they can link into, but then we'll have the real station, TV network of a station, the CTX website, in which people could actually go on to subscribe, and they'll get 10 and 20-minute length videos to do their workouts. And so it's basically like bringing an infomercial to your pocket or to your tablet or wherever you are. So instead of you can't carry a DVD around. I'm not going to carry a DVD around. But if you had it where you can just go online,
it'd be a good workout. It'd be a good workout, especially some of the older ones.
Yeah. Hey, you guys heard that? I had a fan walk in the building while we were on the air.
I thought it's because you thought my joke was funny.
Oh, well, yeah, she might have thought. It might not have been me. It might have been her thinking your joke was funny.
Well, the other cool thing is, and this is a part that, folks, if you're listening right now, this is something that we're looking into that you should pay a lot of attention to, because this is going to get bigger over the next year or two. Is we're going to be putting video content on things like the Roku, YouTube, all these different technologies that can get this content out there, not only to help these people work out, but also as, a magnet to get them to learn about the product and then purchase more of the product. So there's a lot of great marketing that's just kind of inherent in this, just from creating the content itself.
Well, and think about the concept in general. Think about just anything you do. There can be a membership site for that, and you can learn how to do it better.
Absolutely,
exactly, and that's the beauty with it. That's what me and Ray are working on now, which is the subscription membership-based website that people will be able to go on to get all their CTX workouts. The other really cool thing that we do here, you can call into the studio from wherever you are via Skype, via Tango. Via Google, Google Chat?
Hangouts.
That's it, Hangouts. So we have members when they go on road trips, they actually call into the studio and we do live feed training. So they just tune in to do the training with what the people in the class are already doing.
Now, is the
because
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because they have their CTX with them, they can just strap it on. They can just strap on their CTX and they can do the exact same class while they're in, Florida or Spain or wherever they may be. So I always tell people we are the first smart training studio in the world.
Nice.
It sounds good. But it's also
does sound good.
It is true though. It is true because we've done it on a number of occasions.
I would concur that it does sound good.
And with that said, Antwoine, I know you've got a class starting here in just a minute or so. So we'll try to get you out of here. We don't want to keep you over and make those guys wait. But we do appreciate you coming on here, talking to us about how technology is changing the world of fitness and how you are at the forefront of that. And basically, thanks for coming out today, because this has been great to hear about football stories and training stories. And who knows, maybe eventually you'll get me to start doing some of those genetic tests and eating some of the foods that you provide. Heaven knows I need it.
Definitely. I look forward to it. Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey,
I like when I feel like people like me, So, because this group that's coming in right now don't like me very much.
Well, that's good.
I like when I feel like you guys like me, so it's a good day. It's a good day.
Absolutely. Now, is the membership site live yet, or is it you're working on it?
We are currently working on that. It's not live yet. The plan is hopefully by January 1 to have it live.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well, we'll have to, when it's live, we'll have to let everybody know and let everybody know the URL when that happens. So
Absolutely.
Sweet. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, Antwoine. And I will talk to you tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yeah. We'll be together tomorrow, so I look forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. That was Antwoine Sanders, former NFL player who is now a fitness guru, product creator, soon to be membership site owner, and a whole lot more.
Oh, I don't think he's hung up yet. Okay, hold on.
I'm going to say bye now.
All right.
They wanted to say bye to you guys. Say bye. That's awesome. That's awesome right there. All right, you guys have a good one.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. All right. Oh, that was worth keeping them on just for that.
Absolutely. Fun stuff there. I think they just doubled our audience for a few seconds. That was great.
Yeah. Right. Well, that sounds like it's a lot of fun. I'm sure he's still a household name in Utah, isn't he?
Yeah, he pretty much is out here. He obviously played for the Utes, so it's at least with half of the population, he's still very popular.
Yeah, well, it's like that here in Nebraska. Anybody that played for the Huskers. I mean, Matt Turman, who was the third-string quarterback back in the 90s, he's a household name here still, mostly because Tommy Frazier was hurt, then Brooke Behringer, the backup, was hurt, so he had to play a couple games, and he didn't lose the games for us. And I think
there you go.
We won a national championship that year. Matt Turman played like two games, third-string quarterback from Nebraska.
Very cool.
He came out of Wahoo Newman High School.
Wahoo Newman,
yeah. Wahoo. There is a Wahoo, Nebraska, and it's Newman is the Catholic high school there. So
gotcha. I thought it was the name of a person.
That would be a good name for a football player, Wahoo Newman.
Well, Wahoo McDaniel, he was a football player.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's I know he's more well known for other things, but he was indeed a football player named Wahoo. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very cool.
Of course, I'm not sure if that's his real name or not, but
I always wished my name was Nick Sleeper, but I was told I was going to have to say it was Steve when I was young, and now I kind of like it. You know, Steve starts with an S, and so does Sleeper, and Sleeper's a weird name, and people can remember it. So
there you go.
So, do you have a tip of the week?
I do have a tip of the week, and it's actually something a little bit different today than normal. So.
Oh, all right. Well, that's very good. And now, tip of the week with Ray, the video guy.
Yes. Well, my tip of the week actually for today is something that's fun, but also allows you to do a workout with not your body, but with your brain. And that product is called Lumosity, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it. They've got a lot of commercials out on the radio and things of that nature. But what Lumosity does, and I use it on my iPad, and it's free. There is a paid version you can get, but the free one works perfectly fine. And what it allows you to do is do a workout with your brain every day to help you to learn to focus better, to remember better, and the games are kind of fun. So that's my tip of the week, is to check out Lumosity.com, or go to your iPad or other tablet and search up Lumosity and get your brain workout today. So there you go.
Sounds good.
It is good. I do it every single day. Every morning I do my Lumosity workout.
I get out of bed.
I start with that. That's what I do first, yes.
Well, see, you don't drink coffee, so that's better than drinking coffee. You know, I have a cup of coffee and then I look out the window.
Hey, whatever works. Right?
Whatever works.
And the other tip of the week is it's not a tip, but just for the record, apparently Wahoo McDaniel's first name was Edward.
Edward. Okay.
Apparently that was just a nickname.
That's a cool nickname. It's better than Edward.
And apparently he died 14 years ago. So
I guess I knew that. Yeah, now that you mention it, I guess I spend way too much time watching football. And but it's like the Patriots with you. You grew up in Rhode Island, okay, and ever since you were old enough to remember, you followed the Patriots. Same with me. I mean, I grew up near Chicago. I'm, when I say near Chicago, near Peoria, closer to that. But everybody was a Bears fan there, And I can remember going to games at Wrigley Field. Of course, I'm an old man, but I mean, I've been following them for 50 years. So this year is. It's kind of part of who I am. So when you got really a bad year like this, we really have not had a terrible year like this in a while. We haven't had great years. I mean, but Lovey took them to a Super Bowl and stuff. But
so you've had a couple a few times.
Yeah, and it's like and I had a number of friends of mine. Well, one buddy of mine is athletic director at one of the big high schools here in town, and he was very upset they were letting Lovey go. He just said this is not good, So, was he clairvoyant? No. Did he know something we didn't know? No. He was just very upset they were getting rid of an excellent coach. But so anyhow, we'll see. I mean,
You guys will always have 1986.
Yeah. Thank you. And the Cubs will always have 1907.
Yeah.
Although they got Madden coming in. Is it Joe Madden? Yeah. The used to be at the Devil Rays. The manager at the Devil Rays, he quit and went to the Cubs. So I may actually watch more Cubs games next year.
That'd be interesting to see. I hope they do well. There were a couple times over the years where it looked like they might get there and just couldn't quite pull the trigger.
Yeah, the catch 10 years ago. Yeah, against the Marlins. Well, we'll see what happens. I've sort of kind of given up on the Cubs. I don't watch the games like I used to, and so maybe I'll get back into that habit this year. That'd be nice.
Chicago has had a rough go of it for quite a while.
Well, at least in baseball. I mean, the White Sox won the World Series a few years back.
They did. I remember that.
The Blackhawks have been very good as of late. They've won at least one Stanley Cup too, I think.
Yeah.
But the Bears was '86. The Cubs was in the Stone Age. And I'm a Cubs. I grew up a Cubs fan. I guess just because my dad was, And
the poor Bulls just haven't been able to put anything together for years either. So
yeah, and I really haven't done anything since. I mean, I'm a football fan. When I spend too much time watching football, so when football season's over, I don't even want to see a ball in my front yard. I might spend a little more time watching the Cubs. So, all right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps it up here.
That does. That wraps it up. And for those of you listening live, we actually have a webinar going on tomorrow, which you're more than welcome to join us. It's tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be with myself and Casey Zeman, and you can check that out by heading over to the Facebook page for the show, and there's a link on there to be able to sign up and join us. There will be replays, of course, as well, so even if you're listening to this 2 months from now, you still can get access to it, I'm sure, but you'll want to join us live tomorrow, Thursday, the 13th of November, 2014.
And what's the webinar going to be on?
I should probably tell that part, right? On this webinar, you're going to learn 4 simple steps to launching any product or service using the power of online events.
Oh, 4 simple steps, launching online events. Okay, cool.
Yes, and by online events, what we're talking about is kind of the next step of webinars. Okay. So it's a new type of technology that is being used in the webinar space to provide some really good interactive stuff, and I think you really like it. So,
well, we want to thank Antwoine Sanders, not to be confused with Deion Sanders or
Antoine Walker or
Antron Randall, former NFL player. Dude played he played in the NFL for 2 years and the CFL for 1 year, which is better than 99% of all other college players.
Well, and actually we should have him on for a long sports chat one day, and you'll actually hear the story of what happened with his NFL career, where he was supposed to be drafted extremely high, and something happened that bumped him way down, and there's a whole long story to it, and it's actually kind of sad. Really, he should have been playing much more than he did, and it kind of comes down to in the end where he just got sick of the football politics and decided to move into other things and do his own thing, and I think he's much more successful for it. But it's kind of a sad to see the dream get crushed by things outside your own control, but hey, that's what happens sometimes in life.
But he's doing fine now. He's fitness guru. He's going to have the membership site for CTX, so very cool. So anyhow, it's the Online Marketing Radio Show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy. I'm Steve Sleeper, and again, Antwoine, our guest today. Today's show made possible by?
Today's show is made possible by Explaindio. Explaindio is the easy-to-use video creation tool that'll make anybody into a video-making machine. You can make whiteboard videos, the old hand-drawn sketch videos, as well as slideshow videos, and even bring in your own video that you've shot to create amazing videos for your business or your client's business or for fun, whatever you want to do. And you can check it out and learn more by heading over to raythevideoguy.com/explaindio-demo. I don't know why I didn't just make it Explaindio. There must be a reason.
Must be massive bonuses there too from Ray.
Yeah, we do. We've got some absolutely amazing bonuses to go along with it. That includes a full training course on Explaindio, fonts and graphics and cartoon characters to use in your videos, and music, and all sorts of SVG graphics for the sketch videos, and so just a lot of great stuff.
Lots of stuff. And you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. Get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. And Ray also posts whatever he's doing from an affiliate marketing standpoint in there. And you can go there to get in on the webinar tomorrow night with Casey Zeman.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Okay. Do we have a guest for next week yet?
Well, the guest we were supposed to have on this week, I'm trying to get for next week, so we'll find out shortly.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks, everybody. Though we'll be back next week with a really good show, and thanks for joining us. I said thanks for joining us. There we go. All right.
He's
Hey,
Ray
thanks.
the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.